Today I'm filming before the morning jog because I'm too excited. I wanted to show you this. Look at that, look at that. Nice, huh? It's done guys. At least that's phase one of the renovation project. Let me show it to you so you can admire this new terrace in all its magnificence. We actually did inaugurate it yesterday evening with a small barbecue just on the terrace. Freezing cold, you cannot see that there, but there is one of those heating stoves for outdoors. And if I can manage to go up there, you cannot see that. But yeah, no, I think you can see that very well from here. It's nice, so hopefully tomorrow, you see the table, I brought it there yesterday evening. They will have to add another beam there to make it 3. And hopefully they're going to eliminate that ugly piece of wood there and place it just behind the wooden beam there. But other than that, the terrace in itself should be over. Of course, if you see the rest, it's desolated like a nuclear site. Yesterday I tried to clean these up. It's still full of debris, full of roots, full of stones. It was really incredible. Even with the electrical equipment, I didn't manage to clean it up much, but it looks much better than before because plants were starting to grow again. And now, phase 2 of the Swiss Chalet project is not just about the chalet itself. It's really going to be around the soil, the terrain, the garden. So how are we going to do it? And I'll show you the project that we are discussing. But at the moment, let's linger a bit on the terrace because it's a very prominent feature of our new I call it Swiss Chalet, but it is a Swiss Chalet. It's in Switzerland. It's a chalet. It's a Swiss Chalet. So we're going to excavate the whole part of this degrading side of the garden. The idea is to make a level surface as much as possible. Then we're going to have a containment wall over there. It's probably going to be done with, you know, those stone blocks that you are nowadays seeing pretty much everywhere in outdoor works. I like them very much. And here as well. And the fact is that when I saw the offer from the guy, one of the gardeners from around here sent me an offer. One of the voices in this offer read, unmounting and mounting again the garden house. I mean, we just built that thingy over there. I wouldn't want to have to dismantle it. But of course, if they mount it, it's all right. Now, you guys are probably more expert than I am. This terrace, and let's focus on the terrace for a second. I'll talk to you about our project in the next video. As usual, I have these combination lock that is very useful for me, but it's not very practical, and I have the feeling that it might break from a day to the other. Okay, done. Done. Now, that's really the problem with this thing now. You see how it's been done? Whenever I walk here, I have the feeling that it's not, there is a table that is not completely adhering to the structure that's beneath. Sure, we already know these we'll have to resolve it. Truth be told, the terrace was not as long before, but I think it's now very nice like that. Yeah, I brought this table as I told you yesterday. Finally, I can show these to you. This helmet here is it's a relic from the previous owner. I will have to take it down. I mean, it's really horrible. Unfortunately, we couldn't manage to use this one yesterday because we didn't have the gas canister. But so I was telling you, now the problem with this is, okay, it's both a problem and a good thing. This wood is called Accoya wood, and you might already know it. I didn't. Accoya is the brand, so it's a trademark of this specific kind of wood that it's grown in sustainable growing farms, and it's specifically treated, chemically treated, to be especially extremely resistant to extreme weather conditions. So it's specifically suited to be out there. And if you look at it from the surface, it looks like normal wood, and you would imagine, okay, now I need to treat it somehow, but it's already treated, so it's finished, so I shouldn't have to do anything else with this wood. Now it's very, very bright this way, and the reality is that, look at the difference in color. It's probably a bit too much, right? It's not unnerving, but this pops out to the eye. So I was thinking, okay, so the guy who mounted this told me that this wood is going to turn gray in a couple of weeks. That's going to be exposed to the weather. But honestly, gray and palisander, I think that's the color. I mean, at least the colors should match, okay? But I'm pretty happy with the terrace. The space is gorgeous. The space is great. You can now see why I wanted this, so that we can use it. Sure, we need to fix a couple of things still. This is not, guys, you have to imagine that this house here had about 20 years, right? This hadn't been touched any time before that. I hope they're going to come on Monday, tomorrow, to fix that, because we need to close it. Yesterday I treated I found some holes. You cannot see them here. Some of the holes, because there are worms inside the wooden structure. Not too many. You see that they had to replace the structure beneath. So what they effectively had to do was they had to they had to really how do you say that in English, guys? Help me out. You had to take up the structure and to put those new beams just beneath it. It's coming up nicely. Probably what I'm going to do, and I know yesterday was Black Friday, so I took the advantage of it, and I bought a special equipment to be able to take these this coating out. This is quite old. This is hopefully going to help me out do that. I'm going to do that all over the place, because this color I don't like. It's very, very artificial. I don't even want to destroy this thing, because if there's only one good thing about this house, apart from the fact that I really like it, I like its architecture, it's that it's resisted. So this coating has helped it. But what I want to do is to find if I can have some water-based coatings to color a bit this new Accoya structure, and find as much as a tone as possible that's close to that one that I'm going to use here, probably natural wood, to also color this one. I think it's too dark. I would like it to be more alive in a more natural wood kind of thing, so more brown kind of tone. This is it for the moment. Again, next time I'm going to show you also the projects that we are starting on how to transform this. One of the guys who came seeing these also told us, this might be a good place for an infinity pool. Yeah, right. But if you think about that, why not? But if you think that the price of this thing over here has been 13,500 Swiss francs, yes, you heard it right. These are the prices in Switzerland, I'm afraid. And before deciding to go for it, I actually had many other offers, and they were not, believe me or not, they were not that very far from each other. So, and I ended up selecting a guy who's just next door. Yes, it cost me a couple of thousand more than the cheapest offer, but it's more of a guarantee because everybody knows him and he's one of the local companies that does these things, and he has a reputation to sustain as well. Again, these are Swiss prices, guys. What can I do? What can I tell you? I'm not a handyman myself, and possibly I could have done it, you know, using my own hands. Oh, these are the remnants of yesterday evening's barbecue, but I really couldn't do that myself because, as I told you, they had really to take up the house and the garden house and do something that by myself I would have never tried. If the poles had been okay, if the structure had been okay, I think I could have attempted it myself before eventually calling it a failure and calling for help. But I decided, okay, let us spend this money. It's an investment. This is not money wasted. This is all an investment, guys. It's going to produce a nice value for the neighborhood, for our property, for this piece of land. But the work, it's just starting now. Now that we are making these part usable again, we need to make sure that we can make all the rest of the garden usable. And by usable, I mean flat a surface as possible. A barbecue area, a containment wall, nice plants, nice garden all over the place. This is going just to look gorgeous, guys. I'm sure you can picture it in your minds because I can. Unfortunately, now we'll have to wait a bit more because, again, that's going to be expensive, and we'll probably be able to find another way for the plants. But the big works here are really excavating walls, and that might even require, at least if not a permit, we'll have to notify the authorities that we're doing this. Right, that's it, guys. I'm going for my morning jog. I wish you a very nice Sunday. Happy Sunday, guys. And yes, phase 1 of the Swiss Chalet restoration project completed successfully. Okay, a bit of a paint still probably needed here, but nice, usable. Ciao. The bells. And I decided to add this snippet here, not just to show you the lake, even though it's a foggy day. It's one of those days over here. But because these guys, I wanted to show you, this is Accoya wood. And as you see, this has been there since a few years now. And structurally speaking, it's still intact. Absolutely intact. But look at the color. Look at the color here. This is really, really gray. So I imagine that the terrace is going to turn to this color from the bright wooden fresh color that it has today. Not sure I really like it, to be honest. So I think that I would really look into alternative coating. But here it is, just in case you were wondering. This is how Accoya wood will look like after just a few weeks or months. This is actually how it looks after even a few years. No other works done. Absolutely exposed to any weather element you can imagine here, and even next to a lake. So yeah, I think it's quite awesome.